Welcome to Explain, a series of health education programs published by the Patient Education Institute, the leading provider of interactive health education. This video includes general medical information and does not replace the medical advice of your doctor or healthcare provider. If you have questions pertaining to your medical condition, ask your doctor or healthcare provider. Carbohydrates. Introduction.
Carbohydrates are one of the major types of nutrients. They are an important source of energy for your body. Carbs is another name for carbohydrates.
Certain kinds of carbohydrates are healthier for you than other kinds. Limiting carbohydrates that aren't as good for you can help you stay healthy.
This program will help you better understand how to choose the healthiest sources of carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates.
One of the major types of nutrients is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, also known as carbs, are an important source of energy for your body. Protein and fat are other nutrients the body can use for energy.
Your digestive system changes carbohydrates into a type of sugar called glucose. Your body uses this sugar for energy for your cells, tissues, and organs. Glucose can be used by the body immediately. It can also be stored in your liver and muscles for when it is needed. Excess sugar can also be changed into fat for longer-term storage. There are two main types of carbohydrates: complex carbohydrates and simple carbohydrates.
Complex carbohydrates include starch and dietary fiber. Examples of complex carbohydrates are whole grains and beans. Starch must be broken down through digestion before your body can use it as a glucose source.
Many complex carbohydrates include fiber. Your body can't digest dietary fibers. They pass through your body without being broken down into sugars. Fiber leaves the body through stools when you go to the bathroom. Even though your body doesn't get energy from fiber, you still need fiber to stay healthy. Fiber helps get rid of excess fats in the intestine, which helps prevent heart disease. Fiber also helps push food through the intestines, which helps prevent constipation. Simple carbohydrates include sugars found naturally in foods such as fruits, vegetables, milk, and milk products. Simple carbohydrates also include sugars added during food processing and refining. Foods with added sugars often have fewer nutrients. Food sources. Carbohydrates can be found in the following: fruits, vegetables, breads, cereals, and other grains, milk and milk products, foods containing added sugars. Healthier foods higher in complex carbohydrates include foods that provide dietary fiber and whole grains. Natural sugar from fruits, vegetables, milk, and milk products are also a healthy option. Most of the carbohydrates that you eat should come from these foods. Starch is a complex carbohydrate found in certain vegetables. Some vegetables that contain starch are dry beans, peas, and corn. Starch is also found in breads, cereals, and grains. Foods high in dietary fiber include fruits, vegetables, beans, and peas. Nuts, seeds, and whole grain foods are also high in fiber.
Whole grains are a good source of fiber and nutrients. Whole grains refer to grains that have all of the parts of the grain seed. Brown rice and whole wheat flour are examples of whole grains. When whole grains are processed, some of the dietary fiber and other important nutrients are removed. A processed grain is called a refined grain. White rice and baked goods made with white flour are examples of refined grains. Whole grains are healthier than refined grains.
Some foods are higher in carbohydrates but contain added sugars. Sodas and candies are some examples. These foods add extra calories but not many nutrients to your diet. Sponsored by the Patient Education Institute. www.patient-education.com. Over 5,000 videos and interactive tutorials. Recommended amounts.
For many people, carbohydrates should make up about 45% to 65% of the calories you take in each day. Talk with your healthcare provider about the right amount of carbohydrates for you. Most of the carbohydrates you eat should be from complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates provide important nutrients and fiber. The recommended amount of dietary fiber is 14 grams for every 1,000 calories you eat each day. To eat healthier, look for the foods that list whole grains as the first ingredient on the food label. Make at least half of the grains you eat whole grains.
Whole grains can be listed as brown rice, buckwheat, bulgur or cracked wheat, millet, wild rice,
popcorn, quinoa, triticale, whole grain barley,
whole oats and oatmeal, whole rye, whole wheat. Natural sugars like fruits and vegetables are also healthy carbohydrates. Make sure to eat a variety of healthy carbohydrates in order to get the different nutrients you need to stay healthy. Limit foods that have added sugars even if those foods are higher in carbohydrates. These carbohydrates don't have as many nutrients. Also, limit the amount of table sugar you eat. You can find out if a food has added sugars by looking for these terms on the packaging. Corn sweetener, corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup, honey, sugar or brown sugar, invert sugar, molasses, malt syrup, syrup, fruit juice concentrates. You can also look for words ending in "ose" on the packaging. Some examples are dextrose, fructose, lactose, and sucrose. These are sugars that should be limited. They are sometimes added to foods, so check the food label carefully.
You should also limit the amount of white potatoes you eat. Occasionally eating white potatoes is fine because they contain important vitamins and minerals, but your body treats potatoes like a simple carbohydrate and rapidly digests them. This can raise your blood glucose level quickly.
Side effects.
Taking in more than the recommended amount of carbohydrates also means taking in more calories. Extra calories that are not burned are stored in the body as fat. This may lead to obesity. Obesity plays a role in heart conditions, type 2 diabetes, sleep apnea, and some cancers. Eating too many refined carbohydrates and too much added sugar is not healthy. In general, you want to limit these carbohydrates.
If you like this video, please like and share. For similar videos, subscribe to our channel. Summary.
Carbohydrates, or carbs, are a major type of nutrient. They are an important source of energy for your body. Certain kinds of carbohydrates are healthier for you than other kinds. Limiting carbohydrates that aren't as good for you can help you stay healthy.
Your digestive system changes carbohydrates into a type of sugar called glucose. Your body uses this sugar for energy for your cells, tissues, and organs. Carbohydrates can be found in the following: fruits, vegetables, breads, cereals, and other grains, milk and milk products, foods containing added sugars.
Healthier foods high in complex carbohydrates include foods that provide dietary fiber and whole grains. Most of the carbohydrates you eat should be from complex carbohydrates. Natural sugars from fruits, vegetables, milk, and milk products are also a healthy option. For many people, carbohydrates should make up about 45% to 65% of the calories you take in each day. Talk with your healthcare provider about the right amount of carbohydrates for you.
Thank you for using Explain.